Hello, my name is Mervil Johnson. I am the co-founder and current chairman of the Fatherhood Coalition of Tarrant County. I'm sitting here in Fort Worth, Texas, which is where we are based. It's the largest city in the Tarrant County area. The Fatherhood Coalition is a voluntary association of individuals working together to promote responsible fatherhood in our community. And we formed the coalition back over 20 years ago. In fact, it actually started as an initiative. It was called the Fatherhood Initiative. I took on the role of Workforce Collaboration Manager in 1998, and my very first task, my mission was to organize a fatherhood coalition in Tarrant County. To do that, I had the assistance of many of the staff working here at Workforce Solutions. We came together and brainstormed about all the organizations that we were aware of, working with families, to invite to a community meeting that we would host to share our vision of creating a fatherhood initiative. So that's how it started back actually in October of 1998. Once we had that forum, we organized into task forces around 4 subsets of fathers and began working together on a monthly basis. After a few months, we learned of another organization, a community group, a grassroots organization underway by Charles Scoma, who was the mayor of North Richmond Hills at the time. And once we learned of each other's efforts that we were both working to promote responsible fatherhood, we decided to combine our efforts and work together. And so in 2000, we actually dropped the label of Fatherhood Initiative, and we formally became a coalition of different agencies, community-based, from all walks of life, but all of us connected with the common goal of wanting to promote responsible fatherhood. The way that we have set goals as a coalition, we began, as I mentioned, by identifying groups of fathers that we wanted to focus on first in our initiative. And those groups were first teen fathers. We identified a second group that were fathers who had been mandated to pay their child support by the 4D courts. The third group were fathers who were incarcerated, so we wanted to identify services and programs that would be able to help those fathers upon their release when they were going back into their families and coming back into the community. So we wanted to find some constructive ways to assist them. And then the final group of fathers was called the at-risk father, which we believed any father could fit into that group. That's anyone who was not engaged in a positive way with his children, was disconnected in some way with his children. We wanted to be able to work on programs and services to address their concerns as well. The general purpose of the Fatherhood Coalition as it exists today is stated in our mission statement, and that mission is to strengthen the role of fathers and men in the lives of children in Tarrant County. We have been very successful. We have not stopped meeting since we organized back in 1998, 1999. We have met consistently on a monthly basis, on a voluntary basis without funding. And but fortunately, we were able to get funding after over 10 years of meeting on a voluntary basis. The Administration for Children and Families sponsored a Responsible Fatherhood grant program, and we were successful in 2011 in receiving one of those grants for 4 years, where we were able to develop a comprehensive service project helping fathers and parents. The collaborating partners of that grant, there were 9 of us that came out of the Fatherhood Coalition that collaborated together on that grant to focus on the goals of economic stability, healthy relationships, and parenting skills. It was a very successful grant, and we were able to introduce many things in the community that are still in place today, even after the funding had ended in 2015. Some other projects that we are most proud of having accomplished as a coalition, I would think number one would be our Fathers Hall of Fame. We have been able to induct fathers each year into what we call the Tarrant County Fathers Hall of Fame. These are fathers who have been nominated by citizens, by family members, any residents who live or work in Tarrant County, nominate these outstanding men for their leadership and in terms of their families, as well as the community at large. Many of them take on additional tasks and responsibilities to assist the community. And so we have held that celebration at different venues since 2008, each year recognizing fathers, now having over 40 plus fathers that have been inducted into our Fathers Hall of Fame. The other project that we are most successful with has been our Dad's Pocket Resource Guide. It is a small guide that lists many community resources that we wanted to have at the fingertips of fathers that they could carry around with them and have access to resources that could help themselves and their families. Advice I would give to any organization or anybody wanting to start a coalition, your first thing I would encourage you to do is to identify community leaders who can help you to champion the need for responsible fatherhood advocacy in your community. Mayors, elected officials, organization leaders. So if you have community leaders as well as a strong organization, for example, Workforce Solutions has been the most consistent and strongest supporter of the Fatherhood Initiative and Fatherhood Coalition effort since we formed back in 2000, providing staffing, resources, sponsoring the publication that I just mentioned, the Dad's Pocket Resource Guide. So those are key elements to ensure that you will be successful when you have champions from the community as well as a strong organizational support. The last thing I would say is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are many resources at the local, city, state, national level that can provide you with information and with resources for how to get started. And many of these there are free pamphlets and books and many other services. We would be glad to assist any organization. Feel free to reach out to our coalition here in Fort Worth, Tarrant County, as well as other organizations throughout the country. Best of luck to you.